From as far back as Samuel could remember, he woke before the sun ever touched the horizon. The rhythmic sound of Spirit's hooves was the constant melody that accompanied his days. Together, they faced scorching summers, biting winter winds, and long, relentless days under the blazing sun. Spirit was more than just an animal to Samuel. He was a friend, a brother, an extension of his very soul. That morning, however, something was different. Spirit moved with slower steps, his eyes carrying a heaviness only time can bring. Samuel's heart tightened with a pain he could not ignore. He knelt beside his horse, running his hand along Spirit's neck, whispering a silent prayer. The roughness of the horse's mane felt familiar, grounding him amidst the rising storm within his chest. He knew the journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but somehow, together, they could face anything. In that quiet moment, Samuel promised himself he would cherish every remaining day with Spirit, holding close the memories they had yet to make. While feeding Spirit, Samuel's mind drifted through memories of years long past. He recalled Maria, his wife, whose presence had once lit up every corner of the farm. Maria had loved the horse as deeply as he did, and was the one who had taught Samuel to find strength in the small things, in the birdsong, the whispering wind, and the prayers spoken at dawn. Her face appeared in his mind like a ray of sunshine, bringing comfort and a sadness that still ached deeply in his chest. Spirit, sensing his owner's sorrow, nuzzled him gently, as if to say, "I am here." The memory of Maria's gentle laugh echoed through Samuel's thoughts, weaving a bittersweet melody that warmed and pierced his heart simultaneously. He could almost feel her presence beside him, urging him to keep faith, to endure, to love. That night, a storm unlike any other crashed over the farm, with a fury that seemed bent on sweeping everything away. Lightning cleaved the sky, and the wind howled through the trees, filling the air with unease. Come morning, Spirit was nowhere to be found in the stable. Samuel searched desperately, calling out for his old friend, his heart tightening with every passing moment. Without hesitation, he mounted his other horse and set off on a desperate search. Their bond was stronger than any obstacle. He knew Spirit needed him just as much as he needed Spirit. The rising sun cast long shadows across the fields as Samuel rode, the pounding of his heart echoing in the silence left by his missing companion. Every rustle, every whisper of the wind seemed to beckon him onward. Determined, Samuel rode down the narrow mountain trails surrounding the farm. The breathtaking landscape was both beautiful and daunting, with steep cliffs and winding paths challenging his every move. The silence of nature was broken only by the steady beat of hooves and the quickening pulse in Samuel's chest. Every step forward felt guided by something beyond sight. He whispered a prayer for strength and protection, ready to face whatever lay ahead, even if he never found Spirit. With every mile traveled, memories of shared moments flickered in his mind. The first time Spirit had carried him, the storms they'd weathered, the quiet nights beneath the stars. These memories fueled his resolve to keep searching. Deep in the forest, Samuel encountered Thomas, an old friend living a solitary life among the trees. Thomas listened to Samuel's story with the knowing smile of one who understands life's mysteries. "Sometimes," Thomas said, "what we seek isn't out there, it's inside us. Faith is the light that guides our steps through darkness." Those words rekindled a fire within Samuel. He realized he had to keep going, but also had to look inward. Thomas's eyes, full of wisdom and experience, held a quiet assurance that comforted Samuel. For a brief moment, the burdens of the journey seemed lighter, and the path ahead clearer. The next day, arriving at the summit of a hill, Samuel was overcome with exhaustion. The wind swept through the wildflowers, carrying a sense of calm and renewal. There he knelt down and offered a heartfelt prayer. He asked for strength, a sign, a reunion he felt was close. As he prayed, he sensed a presence beside him, a peaceful calm that wrapped around him, reminding him he was not alone. The sky above stretched endlessly, painted in soft hues of dawn, and Samuel's heart felt lighter. His whispered words mingled with the breeze, carrying hope into the vast expanse. On his way back, Samuel began noticing small signs: hoofprints, broken branches, disturbed earth. Each detail filled him with hope, as if the universe itself conspired to lead him to his friend. With each step, the landscape seemed to pulse with life and promise, guiding Samuel like a beacon through the wilderness. He allowed himself to believe that Spirit was near, waiting, just beyond the next ridge. Finally, at dawn, Samuel spotted Spirit standing quietly in a field blanketed with wildflowers. The horse appeared calm, bathed in the soft morning light, his eyes reflecting an unspoken understanding. The reunion was silent yet deeply emotional. Samuel dismounted and wrapped his arms around Spirit's neck, feeling a flood of gratitude and love fill his soul. In that moment, time seemed to pause, the world narrowing to just two souls reunited against the vastness of nature. As Samuel looked upon Spirit, he realized their journey was about more than just finding a lost horse. It was a pilgrimage of rediscovery, of faith, hope, and the unbreakable bond between man and nature. He understood that the strength he sought had always been within him, nurtured by prayer and unwavering belief. The quiet wisdom in Spirit's gaze seemed to affirm this truth, a silent guardian guiding Samuel's spirit toward peace. With Spirit by his side, Samuel began the trek back to the farm. Each step was a celebration of life and love. The setting sun bathed the land in warm tones, illuminating the path home and the promise of new beginnings. The journey had changed him. He carried a renewed spirit, ready to face whatever the future held with courage and faith. The next morning, Samuel mounted Spirit for one final ride across the familiar fields. It was a ride filled with gratitude, acceptance, and farewell. Each gentle stride was a tribute to decades of companionship, a silent goodbye that held more meaning than words could express. The sky blazed with orange and gold, casting long shadows and bathing the world in a sacred glow. Sitting on his porch as the sun set, Samuel reflected on the legacy he would leave behind. It wasn't measured in acres or harvests, but in love, faith, and the true connection between a man and his horse. Spirit's spirit, though no longer present in the flesh, would live forever within Samuel's heart, a testament to loyalty, hope, and enduring friendship. The gentle breeze whispered promises of peace and the eternal cycle of life and love. Sometimes the greatest journeys aren't made by the roads we take, but by the transformation we live through within. Samuel didn't just find his horse, he rediscovered himself. And maybe this story is here today to remind you that what you've lost may be waiting at the end of your faith. Never underestimate the power of a prayer or the strength of a heart that keeps believing. Because in the end, it's not about losing or finding. It's about how much you love while you walk the path. And this was the last ride. If this story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us of what truly matters. See you in the next story that touches your soul.